What up, you lab rats? It is episode number 17, and today we're talking about questions. We're doing questions.
Yeah.
We're answering questions, and I want to sit up straight here. So, yeah, stay tuned. Welcome back to Get in the Lab. My name is Megan.
And I'm Kevin.
And let's get in the lab. All right. So today is episode number 17, and we talk about the raw truth about building a business together. Mm-hmm. And the formation of the show was actually based on answering questions. So we're going to get into answering some questions today. But before we get into that, let's take some time to thank our sponsor, audible.com. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I've just finished reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, as well as Play It Away. I finished Play It Away in like 3 hours listening to that book. But I got those books from audible.com, and I listen to them whenever I'm working out, going to the grocery, cooking, anything where I just have, free time to listen. And you can visit audibletrial.com/getinthelabpodcast for your free audiobook of your choice. They have over 150,000 titles to choose from, and a free 30-day trial membership as well. So visit them, audibletrial.com/getinthelabpodcast. All right. So, how are you, V?
I'm doing well.
Yeah? How are you feeling after our little vacay?
Feeling great. I asked Megan to marry me.
Oh. It was so emotional. And it was such a surprise, too. I think I was going to make like a vlog, like a separate vlog, because I just finished editing our vlog for Big Bear. Yeah. I'm going to show you that later on today. But I was just like so surprised.
Yeah.
You really laid out everything, and it was really emotional. And I was crying. And I'm going to show you guys that clip when it's fully edited and all that stuff, because it's embarrassing. But it is really, really nice. I want to thank you for asking me.
Oh, and thank you for saying yes.
It's funny because on the way up, I was telling you, I was like, we've done so much. I wasn't like thinking, man, when are you going to propose or anything like that? But I was thinking, I think now is a good time, because a lot of people would ask us before, when are you two going to get married? They've been asking us that for like 3 years or something, right?
For a long time. And
we even put on this kind of, I'm going to say show, because it was marketable, and it was something that we kind of fell into, like me calling you husband, you calling me fiance during a certain time. And it was kind of like we were playing house, but not really executing.
Yeah.
And I just want to make a comment about that, because like it put me in a really confused state as to where we were going, and like a female, like my mind just ran, and we went through a pretty crazy like conversation and discussion about marriage and about us.
Yeah.
Like 3 weeks ago. It was super intense. But then it was awesome, because we had that, like I felt so much more safe and better, because you were like you were like, I was going crazy and like kind of neurotic, irrational, but you were like super calm, and I think it's because you had all this planned out.
I already had it all planned out.
But I didn't know that, so I was like, oh my god, why am I doing that? I was like kind of having a breakdown a little bit. But what I loved about that was you were so calm, and you just told me straight up, like, relax. We're good.
Yeah.
And you explained everything. And I think it really helped that, when I was freaking out, you have a partner to calm you down and just set you straight. And it's funny because you had all this planned. So
yeah.
That's good, P.
So we're going to change this to fiance and fiance tag.
A fianced tag.
A fianced tag.
Yeah.
And you're up.
Okay. We just keep going back and forth. Well, let's see. All right. Do I have PMS?
I think everyone has PMS.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think everyone does.
I think everybody can be irritable.
Yeah.
When things are, but even when I am, it's during that time. Like I could be pretty chill. I think it's just I'm more like on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a donkey on the edge.
Huh. Where am I from?
From here,
Yeah.
Orange County.
Yeah. That's weird.
That was weird. We didn't make these questions up. All right. So what's going on today? What are our other updates?
Other updates.
Mm-hmm. What's going on today?
I'm just looking forward to the holidays.
Oh,
I'm ready
yeah.
in the holiday spirit.
Yeah,
It's
holidays.
This year has been a pretty busy year.
We've worked
many
very
changes,
hard.
and
Yeah.
I just can't wait to just kind of relax and actually start the wedding planning. Megan's trying to find a designer that can execute what she's looking for. I'm trying to look for a blue tweed suit.
Dude, wedding planning is so like we're trying really hard not to like
Yeah.
do it the way that we've seen our brides do it because we know that it gets crazy and there's so much
does
to
get
do.
Crazy.
And we're just trying to do bare minimum, like for our needs, right? We're really trying to focus, like, okay, what do we really need? What like we don't care about a lot of these other things that we've seen other weddings do, but it's still a lot of work to like.
It's
get
still
those
a lot
things
of work
down.
because you're planning your big day.
Yeah, yeah. And so I kind of go back and forth, like I want it to be simple and I want it to really represent us and to really focus on that. But then you kind of go like, well, it is your wedding day. And so wouldn't you want it to be awesome? And so I kind of go back and forth about that because I'm looking at dresses.
Yeah.
And then some are very like extravagant.
Yeah.
And like they're very beautiful. And I'm like, oh, but I only get to wear it once. And so like my functional, like frugal, rational side pops
You can wear it at home if you wanted to. You can walk down the stairs.
That's gonna be my by myself.
You can do shoots on your own.
That's true.
Wear it out.
Because now I'm going back and forth. Like I'm looking at dresses on Pinterest and stuff like that. It's like something I never thought I would be doing, but I really am enjoying it. I'm enjoying that feminine part of wedding planning, and so it's kind of fun. And I'm thinking like, maybe I do want to go a little bit fancy, but we'll see. We shall see. So I have a question for you though before we get into a question for you from a listener. Do you think you've changed at all internally now that you've proposed? Like, do you think that there's a shift in you?
Yeah, I think there is a shift.
Yeah. Like
now that I solidified like the connection between me and you.
Yeah.
So it feels like it. I mean, we've always been closer, but now it's engraved in a way. Now that I know you're on the same page as me.
What? I've been on the same page. I've been asking you. Well,
no, I know.
I've been asking myself if you're on the same page.
Well, it kind of allows you to know that I'm on your page as well. So
I was thinking about that because I always thought before, like, you know, people would ask us, when are you two going to get married? And we would say, oh, we're not in a hurry. You know, we're not, whatever. We already feel married, blah, 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 like doing this thing.
Well, it's just because we've been living together for like since day one.
Yeah. That was unorthodox. But yeah, I was trying to think like, what has something changed? I think because right now we're definitely sweeter. Not like we're not sweet to each other, but like there's a little bit of that honeymoon sweetness. But I want to say, like, I don't want to lose that.
Honeymoon sweet.
It keeps me like, because I could be irritable, or you can get, you know, like caught up in the routine of marriage. And I think it'll be really important to say for the both of us, like, let's try to keep that going. Yeah. Yeah. Try to be sweet. Try to always be sweet.
Yeah. You try to be kind to each other all the time.
Yeah.
Or you just do it.
But you can forget. I think a lot of couples can relate. Like, you just get caught up in the day to day, and like you forget to be sweet, or you don't think about it anymore. Like, it becomes second nature. But I really want to try to keep doing that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. So let's get into our first question. So we have a question from Danny Ryu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to read it for you, okay? Hi there, Kevin. I don't exactly remember how I started following your work. Amazing, by the way, but I had some questions. I'm currently working as a police officer for the city of Los Angeles, and it's been extremely stressful. Not because the job itself is all that difficult, but thinking about doing this for another 30 years is something I just can't see myself doing. My passion is photography, and I've been shooting as much as I can when time permits to do so. It's something I want to pursue, but need direction. Making a living out of photography is my dream, and I would really like to pursue it before it's too late. Is there any way you could free up some time to give me some guidance, advice? I would greatly appreciate it. I have some ideas, but how would I profit from it?
How to profit?
There's a lot going on in there,
Yeah.
and I can relate, but why don't you say what would you tell this guy? This is your friend, right?
Danny.
Yeah. Danny boy. Oh, Danny boy.
Well, that's good that you're having that mindset of sort of thinking in a way that your career, like, you can't really stay in it for too long. I sort of can relate in a way that I was in nursing, and after I graduated, while I was in my externship, I couldn't see myself doing it forever for the next 30 years or until I retire in nursing. It wasn't me. So, I can see where you're coming from. And if I have some ideas to provide for you to profit from photography, is really just enjoy the craft of photographing. Try and find your style. Just have fun with it, because that's when actually profit will come. I didn't think about profiting from photography. I didn't even think that we were going to be in a business together. I didn't even know I was going to be a photographer as a career. It just sort of happened because I enjoyed it so much. So I believe you should just have fun with it. And if you think about the money, it wouldn't last too long, because it will actually start feeling like a job versus a hobby or something that you just like to do on your leisure time.
But I bet Danny feels a bit rushed, and it can't be it can't be all fun and games, because if I wanted to make that transition between moving from a paid job, but I don't like it as much, to something that I love and getting paid at, there's that transitional period where it's scary.
Yeah.
How do you even do that? What would be your, if you couldn't do photography anymore, tomorrow, and you found something else that you loved, like construction.
Yeah.
How would you make that transition between photography to construction, or between these two?
So if I knew I wanted to have a transition in my life, I'll probably think of a plan B, as in saving up a lot of money from my current job.
What's a lot?
So if construction, or let's don't use construction.
Whatever, yeah.
Let's
whatever
use if I wanted to be a videographer versus a photographer, I'll save up enough to purchase all the equipments that I'm inspired by and I want to learn how to use it and everything. I'll buy all that and start playing around with it, fiddle with it. I'm still doing photography on the side. I'm still being a photographer for at least 2 years, because during those 2 years, I'm still practicing. I'm still shooting videos, just getting familiar with my new equipment for videography. Also networking.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Try and find a foundation for video first before just fully transitioning into videography.
Gotcha. So it's a matter of building up your foundation. You've got a hustle on the side, called the side hustle, right? So it's great that, Danny figured out, okay, hey, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. And it takes a lot of courage and honesty for somebody to do that, because there's safety in staying with your job that you thought you were going to do forever, whatever. It took so long to get there. You went to school for it, maybe, all that shit. And now you're like, I don't think I want to do that anymore. It takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, it's never too late there's never too late.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's
I have
very
friends that are like 40 and they just started photography. So
it all depends. I think it matters in your spirit.
Yeah.
As long as your spirit is not broken, it's never too late. Like, I think that's the problem with people as they get older. Their spirit starts to kind of fade away.
It's also the mindset.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm getting older and I don't think I can do it. I don't
it's like
think
working
I have.
out.
Yeah, it's
like
sort of
working
like
out.
working out. Like you're pushing yourself and how far you can push yourself.
Right.
And lifting heavy.
Right.
So it's sort of like,
or just working out again.
Yeah, do I have that mindset? Do I have that drive to push a little bit further into a new career path? Yeah.
How much do you want it?
Yeah.
You know, there's a point where like people have different tolerance for pain, and pain meaning like spiritual pain, mental pain, emotional pain, all that shit. Like you have a certain tolerance for that. So as long as your tolerance is low enough, and you can't stand it anymore, like that's going to push you. That's going to motivate you to get out of your current situation and actually follow what you want to do. A lot of people say, how can I do that? You know, how can I even start to do what I actually love?
Something that throws you off
Yeah.
in your current career that pisses you off. Or
Yeah, that's good. Anger is a good motivator.
Yeah, like if it irritates you so bad and you want to change, that's what happened to me. Like I couldn't stay in a hospital for too long. Like I felt so confined into one area, same routine, even though, I'm helping others, but it wasn't me. I couldn't see myself in the next 30 or 25 years doing it.
Right.
I had to change.
Yeah.
So if you can't see yourself being a police officer for so long, I think you're in the right direction where you're trying to make some changes.
Right.
And to make those changes, like first off, I want to give a tip, as in you want to build your foundation in photography. So networking is key because you want a solid support team that kind of provides you that drive in executing your passion.
Right. And
you need that. You need that drive, that constant drive from other people.
it's exactly what happened to me. Yeah. I mean, and don't focus on the money, because when you start to focus on the money, you make stupid mistakes. I would say, in my experience. Yeah,
because if you're focusing on the money, and sometimes like you're seeing all these, you just want to jump from A to C or something sometimes, and you sort of skip some steps in getting where you want to be.
Yeah.
Sort of like, I have a few people that I know that started off and bought really expensive equipment and didn't know how to use it. And they think since they have the equipment, they can just charge like crazy for their service, but they didn't get the foundation correctly.
They don't have theory. They don't have experience.
There's no theory. There's no experience. There's actually no craft.
Right.
There's no product for them to sell.
Right.
So then you have to sort of backtrack. You're going to learn the hard way. You're going to backtrack and try to start fresh.
You need to respect the industry.
Yeah.
Like you can't just walk into photography or videography or whatever you want to do, especially artistic things. Well, I would say anything, any industry. You need to respect that industry and its context. So like in this playground of photography, it took a while. You have to find your craft. You have to figure out your style. You have to break away. You have to become unique. You have to listen to your own voice and all of this stuff. And that takes time. And you have to give yourself time to do that. Like you can't just go like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Let me just step over here and start making money.
Yeah.
That's what motivates people. And that's what like piques the interest of people like into our world of entrepreneurship or photography. But there's a lot of shit that goes down in between. And we want to be honest with people and say that there's a lot of work.
Yeah. I think with any business, there's a lot of work.
Right. Right.
Any business, it's your baby.
Yeah.
And how you take care of it over the years, it's you're going to see potential growth, or you're going to see
stagnant or
failure.
Just fades away because you didn't really execute.
Yeah.
So what would our closing little notes be to Danny moving forward? So we said a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did. To sum it all up,
let's
enjoy photography.
Yeah.
Keep on just shooting what you love, and then sort of find within photography what style, what do you like to shoot?
Mm-hmm.
Because once you know what you like to shoot, then you can take it to the next level.
Right. And master your craft. Take the time to learn what your camera does, how to play with light, how to play with contrast, and, learn the rules and then break the rules.
Yeah.
Learn the rules, then break the rules, because it's great that you have a foundation. You understand the theory behind things. You need to have theory. That's why school is important. But you need to take yourself to school, basically. Yeah. You need to school yourself.
You can either learn on your own like we did. We just kind of shot a lot and learned as we went. Yeah. Or you can take workshops.
Yeah. Mentorships.
The good thing about workshops is that they'll help you on like guidance and how to do certain shots, lighting, as well as you're surrounded by a lot of photographers probably in the same boat that you can network with.
Right.
And it's great when you find someone at your entry level to network, and you guys will see each other grow over time. And that's why I saw when I first started out, is to see some people that I used to know and saw both of us growing in different paths. But yeah, it all starts with knowing what you like to shoot and what inspires you and what drives you in photography.
Yeah.
And from there, build a solid foundation, and that foundation can start with networking with a lot of people that complements what you like to shoot, that kind of steers you in that direction.
Awesome.
And the cool thing about business is that you never know where you're going to be. Yeah, you never know who you're going to meet, and sometimes there's opportunities everywhere, and they're going to be contacting you. You just don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
I think the important thing is, like, because of that fact, you don't know. Like, there is so much opportunity that can happen. The only thing that you can control, and that you should control, is like the now. Like, be present, be genuine, run your business, run your life with heart, master your craft. If you really love shooting, like, then freaking shoot your camera off. Like, shoot till you can't shoot anymore. Like, if you really love it, that is what you have to put into it.
Yeah.
When we weren't, like, we could have gone to a movie, we could have gone do this stuff. We worked on our shit. We went out, we shot each other.
Yeah, we shot each other.
We workshopped each other. Like, we mentored each other. And, like, you were always pushing me to, like, here's the new action to do. Here's the editing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, like, that wasn't always fun, but that is what it took. Like,
and I didn't.
Incredible standard.
Yeah, I didn't see it as work. Yeah. I just sort of did it.
No, yeah. You just like, I know how to edit online. I'm like, okay.
I was having a lot of fun. I was like.
Yes. Always fun. Like, it's not work for you.
Yeah.
And if you view photography in that way, then stick with that. Execute on that. And I think that will take you very far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't describe that feeling, but I was like just all in.
All in. Man. Yeah. If there was money to be spent, it's spent on the equipment. Yeah. Invested back on the equipment. And it's just like, it wasn't even thought of for you. I remember at that time, it's like not expensive. Oh, it's only, $2,500. I was like, damn. But it's to you, that's investment. That's a jewel. That's a treasure. That's a toy. That's... like,
I knew I was going to use it.
Yeah.
And I shot the crap out of my camera.
Yeah, shot the crap out of the camera. We shot till our shutters are like, they don't work anymore.
Yeah.
That is how much we put into our craft. And it's like, there's that whole saying like, 10,000 hours to master something. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's more, maybe it's little, but the point is that you give everything if you love it that much. Yeah. How bad do you want it? Ask yourself that.
Yeah.
And then do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't need expensive stuff to start out.
No, you don't. Even though we had some expensive stuff. You had some expensive stuff.
Yeah, but if you're able to make magic from a little camera.
Point and shoots now, you guys are going to see my point and shoot, my little Sony mirrorless.
Yeah.
It's freaking dope.
Yeah.
We got some clean ass pictures from there. So yeah. So any closing thoughts for Danny? Is that it?
Yeah, I believe that's it.
All right, cool. So, Danny, I hope we answered your question. I think, well, it's not so clear cut. but there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But that's our take on your situation.
But yeah, keep on following us and feel free to ask more questions. We're always here to answer.
And question for you guys listening, watching, would you be interested in seeing, speaking of workshops, would you be interested in seeing a workshop from us on photography? I'm just curious. I want to hear your thoughts, and leave it in the comments or whatever on the site or whatever. So, I think that was good. But yeah, what are we at?
I thought we had 3 questions.
We had 3 questions, but we're at 26 minutes. So,
okay.
I mean, we took a long time with that one. If you want to hang around, we can answer some more.
Let's do more.
Okay, cool. So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back with the next question.
Okay.
All right, we're back with the second question. All right, this question is from Athena Moberg. Megan, it's me, Athena. Thanks so much for opening up text messaging as an avenue for your fans and followers to communicate with you. And Kevin, you and Marie Forleo are officially my favorite blog posts to receive on a weekly basis. Girl, that's high. That's high praise. That's high praise. All right. My question for your podcast is this: how can I, being the connector I tend to be, effectively exercise my introvertedness more often without feeling like I'm letting people down? The reason I ask is I tend to naturally love to be very friendly, and I have a natural, authentic love for people, but sometimes I just feel I need to recluse, hibernate, back off, take a social media sabbatical, go completely incommunicado, off the grid. I really recharge my batteries best when I have one-to-one relationships and alone time with the hubs. When I do take that time off for me, I occasionally get some flack, but never as much as I imagine myself having while I am stepping away. Oftentimes, I find myself feeling nervous or even jittery about shutting it down for a day or so. Any thoughts on how I can continue to take time for me to get in the lab, girl, so to speak, by establishing and maintaining healthy personal boundaries, all while enjoying every minute of it without the sense of guilt or anticipating the feedback I get? Keep on being amazing. I love your new podcast and the online store. Sincerely, Athena, your friend in Maui. P.S. Have you and Kevin started taking video questions or audio questions yet? Just curious. Aloha. Nice. Thank you,
Athena.
Thank you for those kind words. Yes, we do. We do accept video and audio questions. The audio one you can find in the SpeakPipe link in the description below. Maybe I'll throw up an annotation right here. And then video questions, you can record them on your YouTube channel, set up a YouTube account, and then share me the link to that video. All right. So,
but yeah, regarding to being introverted on social media, I feel the same exact way. I can definitely relate to that.
Right.
I've been Facebooking, Twittering since 2007, and I would say I'm pretty burnt out sometimes. I just can't think anymore of what to say. I just don't want to be repetitious when I write like little things. And what different ways I can spark the plug and market in a way that will attract people to come to my site and everything. And yeah, that can take a little toll on you, and you'll be overwhelmed or just tired, and you just need to stop the social media marketing and kind of step away and really have a one-on-one relationship with your friends. I haven't hung out with my friends in the longest time.
So how do you feel about that? Like the social media thing, does it make you even like not even want to go out into the real world and hang out with friends, or are we just like super tired?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, this is with business alone and our responsibility to always self-market and be true to ourselves while we're marketing. It can be tiresome, and to the point where, business is hard and it's fun at the same time. It does trap you inside your home or wherever you're at, thinking of new ways, being more innovative. So, and then you kind of lose track that, you haven't spent time a lot with your significant other, or just kind of have a recharge from it.
Right.
So the next step is, I believe what really changed everything up is when Megan started to jump the gun and say she'll do all that stuff because she loves it. And it really kind of braked up my schedule, made me more relaxed as a person. Because I was managing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I was doing emails, shooting, editing, just consultations, just a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And when Megan took the board and just blogging for me and controlling the Facebook and all that, it really took time.
It really gave us more time
together
to spend. And
actually.
I think, and having that, like, you know, you're having kind of this conversation. We have this conversation together, but you're kind of having this conversation with yourself. And we also have that conversation with ourselves, not so like, you know, directly, but it's telling yourself like, yes, it's okay to take time off and to not do anything today. And the grand thing about doing business online is that you can schedule things out.
Yeah.
So when you know that you're doing a lot of stuff and you're putting out a lot of work, try to batch as much work as you can do.
Exactly.
And just kind of plan for it, because that's what we're doing now. Like when I post a new blog for Get in the Lab or for Kevin Levu Photography, I try to schedule it out. That way I just give myself some time, because I know I'm going to be tired at some point during the week where I'm going to not want to do anything. So I try to batch things and schedule them. That way they're just ready to go. I just have to hit publish, or I just have to hit a couple buttons or send out something. Like, it's super simple, but I'll try to do all of my work and social media interaction on batched days. That way it's not like every day I got to go to the computer and log in. And
I totally forgot about that. But
yeah,
definitely. If you're using WordPress, Squarespace, Weebly,
all that stuff can be scheduled out, like all these things, like, and you know, I'll put in the in this episode's bonus, because I haven't been putting out any bonuses. Sorry, we've been kind of busy. I'll put it in the bonus about how you know, I kind of go about scheduling things, batching things. That way I can take a time to freaking play Dynasty Warriors all day if I wanted to.
And batch your interviews as well.
Batch your interviews, batch your meetings, batch that shit up, and that way you can just free up some time for you and realize, yeah, that's okay. You don't have to feel guilty because you thought about it in advance. You scheduled your shit out. Now it's cool. You're good. You know, you fulfilled your responsibility to your audience by not like just checking out and not telling anybody.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And I do have some friends that just straight up put on their fan page and said, you know what? I'm way too busy. I'm busy and I'm going be gone on the social media for a week.
Really? That's good.
And that's all they said.
That's
just
good.
be straight up. You can say, I'm freaking tired. I'm going to be gone for a week. And I'll be back.
That's what we said, but I still felt like this obligation to check in with you guys and still send a newsletter. I scheduled all that shit out, you know, while we were in Big Bear. And I still feel responsible to my audience and all of that stuff. So it's great that you have that responsibility to, you know, to your market, to your audience, you know, the people who follow you, your fans. That's great. But as long as you're always on the up and up with them and you tell them what's up and you tell them, hey, I'm a human being and I need to rest sometimes and I need to chill the fuck out sometimes and I need to, you know, clear my shit up. You know, as long as you're clear.
Yeah.
That's fine. You know,
and
that's super fine.
Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of, like losing fans.
Yeah, if they didn't stick with you, then they weren't your true fan. They weren't somebody for you. They weren't part of your lab rats for life.
You can sort of set it up in a way that, you just be honest and tell them that you're having a busy time or you just need to recover, kind of have that charge that you can inspire more.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of set it up in your blog as well, kind of hype people up that, I'm planning new things and I'm going to take some time away a little bit.
Yeah. And that's totally fine. Yeah. Like, I think that transparency is super important. You tell the people who you are straight up, and I think it only invokes more trust within your audience. So, Athena, take a breather. You live in Maui, goddammit. So get out there, go snorkel, go do some good stuff for yourself. Do a girl's day. and come back stronger, more effective, more rested, smarter, definitely. And don't feel bad about it. Psh, don't feel bad about it. And the people who give you flack, they don't get it. They don't do what you do, probably, right? They don't check in every single day and put their heart out on the line in every single piece of content that they put out. So if they don't get it, that's fine. There's other content creators for them to follow. And yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be straight up.
Straight up.
I'm too busy.
I'm too busy.
I'm going to get out.
I got to go take a breather. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So do we want to answer one more question, or are we good with this one?
Yeah.
One more?
Keep on going.
All right. Shoot, we are on a roll. Okay.
Let's find that one.
So we've already answered this question, but it always kind of will come up because things always change and we have new challenges and crap. So this question comes from Raymond Sparts. What are the biggest issues you've come across in business together, and how did you handling it? Nice.
The biggest issue
right now
was systemizing our photography business and our roles for each other. But now that we're setting the system and we have bi-weekly meetings on how to adjust it, how to refine it, make it smoother. So first off, we changed the blogging system. So I no longer blog. I kind of stepped away from that. The only thing I do for blogging is choose the images that I want to blog. So I hand all that blog to Megan, all the photos to Megan, and she'll be drafting something up, keep people entertained on social media. In all aspects. And this allows me to kind of step away from the computer and actually shoot more and dedicate more time to editing.
And relax more.
Because before, I was always sort of just lagging. I'll say I'm blogging.
All day blogging.
Yeah, I'll say to Megan that I'll be blogging, but I'm just like surfing the net for 4 hours. And then I go back and do a little bit, and then I watch YouTube for a bit. And it took forever, and I wasn't done blogging until probably at 9 p.m.
Yeah, clients would be like, why haven't you blogged us yet? Like, I'm busy.
It's just because I was so drained. I was so tired. Yeah. So this was a great change that Megan brought up. Yeah. And we needed a system. We needed responsibilities within Kevin LeVue Photography. We felt we just kind of jumped and gunned everything we'd done. As we went, we just did it.
Yeah.
And there was no slowing down. And when we did slow down, we kind of had an argument.
Yeah.
So now that we're addressing these issues and really systemizing everything, and sadly to say, before we were like, there's no system, screw the system. But actually, it does make sense to have a system in a business, or else you won't be totally clear with each other.
Yeah, you're left to make assumptions, and you get into a lot more arguments.
Assumptions is a big thing.
I think that was the biggest thing too. You know, a couple weeks ago when I was having my little breakdown, like I was still assuming things, and like, you know, the moment that you can really be honest with what you're feeling and have the courage to say that to your partners and to say that to yourself. Sometimes you don't even tell yourself like you're not really clear and honest about what you're feeling about what you're doing. Like me shooting, you know, I wasn't really honest with myself. I thought that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this is my role, I guess, whatever. And like, kind of settling for it. But I wasn't really being honest and having the courage to face what I was feeling about shooting. Yeah. So it takes a lot of courage.
So the challenges of working together, I would say, if we were to start off all over again from the get-go, would be build a business plan together.
Yeah.
Address all the problems and how we're going to make those changes to resolve those problems.
And how will you discuss problems that do come up and say like, you know, hey, we're going to have problems. That's just going to happen. How are we going to handle that? Like, I don't want to assume that whatever, like, let's put down a plan right now, you know. Exactly. It's just kind of like, it's kind of cold and calculating, but when you do that, it's like having a relationship fight. When you can remove the emotion, the irrationality, and be rational, logical, and just be like, this is what's going to go down.
Yeah.
No feelings have to be hurt. This is what's going to go down. This is how we're going to handle it. This is the plan. And when you have that plan, it's so much more comforting because you're like, hey, we have a plan for this.
And just know that the plan will change over time. Yeah, the plan
will change, exactly.
Just how you guys just work together and how you're going to refine your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's sort of like a contract in a way.
Right. So I think we're handling it very well because we've had this kind of breakthrough of really, really, really being honest. Stop assuming. Stop expecting things that are, not reasonable, rational of each other, and really giving ourselves the leeway to be us.
Exactly.
Like if I let you be you and you let me be me, which is not always as easy as that sounds because, you have this thing guiding you like, oh, we have to make money. We have to run a business. All that stuff has to be kind of balanced really carefully. And so we do weekly meetings. Mm-hmm. And this podcast is kind of like a meeting because we can kind of bring up whatever we want. The only like weird thing is we're recording it for the world to see. So, yeah.
But these questions
they make
actually make us think, remind us about our business mm-hmm. and if we're actually doing it correctly.
And remind us, are we running our relationship the right way? It keeps us accountable, which I really like. And yeah, so.
Yeah, hopefully, Raymond, we answered that question.
Yeah, I think we did. So, Raymond, thank you for asking me a shit ton of questions. Keep bringing them in. You guys can now ask us questions by texting me personally.
Wow.
I know. I opened that up to you. So I think it's going to be really cool. And I kind of got this hint from James Altucher from Ask Altucher and his wife, who also co-hosts with him. She's like, what are you doing? Well, it is kind of a risk, but you know what? It's so easy to block people. So if anybody misbehaves, I have no problem blocking you. So I just want you guys to know that I have that option available for you. Your phone is always available. Sometimes it's a little bit of a hassle to log onto YouTube and leave me a comment or ask me or email me or whatever. I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible for you to ask us questions so we can help you. And in turn, you guys help us by asking questions. All right?
Yeah.
So I think that'll do it for this episode. We answered 3 questions, mm-hmm. jam-packed. What's going on moving forward?
Moving forward, wedding planning.
Wedding planning, yeah. I'm looking for my dress. Any tips on wedding planning would be greatly appreciated. Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear them. And what do you think of my ring?
Also see some updates
Ow!
From the proposal, the engagement on my blog. Kevin Levu Weddings with an S.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll link all that up, and we'll link up the Big Bear vlog for you.
And Megan is currently working on her new website.
Yep.
Which should be wrapping up within, 3-4 months.
No, maybe I'm going to go for a month.
Okay.
Yeah. About a month, I think. There's a lot of stuff to figure out. It's a new kind of website, Squarespace. So I got to figure all that stuff out. But thank you so much for taking the time to answer 3 questions with me. That surprises me. Okay. Always surprising me. And we will see you next time, guys. So thank you again for listening to Get in the Lab. And my name is Megan.
Yeah, I'm Kevin.
We'll see you next time.
We out.
Yeah.
So the introduction.
I forgot. I forgot. I've been in vacay mode too long.